My name is Lynn Barashkoff, and I am the Child Family Advocate at Interfaith Family Shelter. I've been working here for a little over 1 year. Prior to working at Interfaith, I was an elementary school teacher, but I've been a supporter of Interfaith Family Shelter for many years.
I'm Jackie Rasco, the shelter case manager. So I do all the intakes at the shelter, and I do the case management for all the shelter guests. So there are 11 families here. I work with families doing budgets, income, employment, getting documents, which is a really big thing because most of our families come with no documents, birth certificates, social security cards. So that's kind of a big part of my job also. And then the biggest part of my job is finding housing and helping people find housing.
Hi, I'm Sue Nicholls. I'm the Continuum of Care Rapid Rehousing Case Manager. I help people get into housing. We offer short-term financial assistance and case management. So I work with the families to set goals and take care of all the things they have to do to get into an apartment, all the details, and help them set goals, financial goals, budgeting, getting documents together, getting kids enrolled in school or connected with McKinney-Vento liaisons to help them stay in school if they transfer to a different area. And, I mean, the best thing is I get to see them get their apartments.
My name is Sabrie Taylor. I'm the Rapid Rehousing Program Manager with Interfaith Family Shelter, and I've been doing this for about 6 years. So the work that I do is very humbling. I work with families that are experiencing many barriers. They come in the shelter where they're feeling hopeless, broken, not really sure if they can continue living sometimes. So my job is I work with families that are located in the shelter. We help them get connected with other housing opportunities through Rapid Rehousing, which is a short-term rental assistance program, which goes anywhere from like 6 months to 12 months. And I work with them every single month. I check in with them as far as what their rental portions will be, working on budgets, helping them find an apartment, helping them pay off their debt. And so I have very close relationships with the families because sometimes they're here for 90 days or more, and then they're in housing for like 12 months or more I can help with.
My name is Daniel Blizard. I am the Scattered Site Family Advocate here at Interfaith Family Shelter. So when I started here about 4 years ago, I was the evening shelter monitor, which was a evening presence at the shelter, making sure if anything needed to be done as far as conflict resolution, making sure meals and chores were being participated in, and just really being a presence for the residents in the evening time. About 2 years in, I became our Scattered Site Family Advocate, where I work directly with our Cars to Housing program, which are families that are currently living in their vehicle, and we work to get them into shelter, but the ultimate goal is getting them into permanent housing. And then I also work with our Miracle House program. First and foremost, on the daily, I perform site maintenance at our Cars to Housing, make sure our families are getting the best experience. But then I also work directly with the families, making sure that their needs as far as food, cleanliness, and then just overall well-being, while also completing case management, making sure that families have the documents that they need.
My name is Alexis Votteler. I am the mental health substance use disorder case manager here at Interfaith. In 2018, I think it was, I was an intern. So my first year of grad school, I got my master's in social work, and I was placed at Interfaith. And I was here for a full year, and I interned under our shelter case manager, Jackie. I did case management, I helped people move in, and it was really just a good overview of the problems. August of 2020, I was looking to, we were past the point of waiting out the pandemic. So I had thought about Interfaith, and I looked on the website, and this job was posted days before. It was really it was really a wonderful coincidence. So I applied, and I've been here full time since September of 2020, so I'm almost to 2 years.
I'm Zoe Nida. I'm the Resident Skills Coordinator at the Family Shelter. So I oversee our volunteers, our donations, and I also help our families prepare for being in their own house or apartment, doing chores, cooking, buying groceries, budgeting, things like that. When families come in, they're often in a state of survival, and it's really hard for them to get comfortable, but I've often had families come to me, even just children, come to me and say, you know, I had a great night's sleep and I felt safe, and that is my favorite thing.
So the work that I do is basically anything that families need for their children. It can be something like giving them diapers or giving them formula or wipes. We've got that end of it, and then the other end of it is I help children get into nearby local schools, and I help them register for school and help arrange their transportation, and I work directly with the local school districts. And I'm pretty much a cheerleader for everything related to schools. So every day from 4:30 to 5:30, I hold learning hour, and I have community volunteers come in, and we do, during the summer, we do a variety of things. Sometimes they are outdoor things like picking raspberries or playing parachute or ladder ball. And then during the school year, we have an hour of more academically structured lessons. And I group those by grade level to support whatever their teachers are doing at that time.
I work with the folks here who are struggling with substance use disorders or mental health conditions. If they're in recovery or already in treatment, I support them to try and make sure that they continue on that path. If they're maybe questioning if they're ready, or even if they have any kind of mental health concern, I support them to kind of explore what that looks like. Because we're low barrier, a lot of our families really are not ready to meet with me or to talk to me or even admit that they have some of those issues in their lives. A lot of them have been touched by it, and they can admit that a family member might have had a substance use disorder. But for a lot of folks, I end up just kind of building relationships and trying my best to find out what's going well in their lives, to kind of see what I can do to continue that.
I think the best part of my job is when somebody gets their keys. It's pretty awesome to watch the growth when people come in, how sad and hopeless they are, to when they leave getting those keys and they're really happy. So that is the best part of my job.
And one client said, "You helped me get my life back," and it's really gratifying to hear that. I like meeting people and helping them set goals and giving them a sense of hope again. Usually when I see them, they've been homeless for a while, they feel kind of hopeless, they have a lot of anxiety and depression about their situation, and I think setting out a plan of action helps them feel like there's a way to get into housing again.
We work with an organization called Service Alternatives, and people come and volunteer here and they get paid, and we call them service team members in the shelter. But my most recent service team member is actually a former resident, and it's amazing to me how many residents I have talked to, past and current, that are very, very excited to come back and help volunteer here and help more families, because they truly understand the work that we do here, and it really touches my heart.
Helping lift people up, let them know that they're not alone, and really work to help them get to a position into a shelter where they can stabilize and make those changes in their life and work towards success. And you see it, that give them 10 days and they're able to work towards that 90-day goal of getting permanent supported permanent housing.
When you sit with a family or a child hears that they get to move and they have their own bedroom again, and they light up and they're so excited just to have a bedroom, even if there's nothing in it, that right there, if that doesn't make you feel some kind of way, then you shouldn't be in this business anymore. Because for me, that is the best feeling.
There was a family here during the pandemic, really the peak, I guess, of the pandemic, and it was mom and a dad and 2 kiddos, and mom had been struggling with substance use. She was around mid-20s when they were here for almost a decade. She gave birth to their first kiddo at 16, and they gave her some pain medicine, and the rest was, unfortunately, I think we can all imagine, it just deteriorated from there. I had worked with her for a really long time, just building relationship, trying to encourage her to go get an assessment done. We had finally made an appointment to go over and have the assessment done, and she went upstairs to kind of steel her nerves, and long story short, she ended up overdosing on fentanyl. So we called 911, and they were able to save her life. For whatever reason, it was just not enough at the time to get her motivated. So they did exit back into homelessness, and I lost touch with her for quite a long time. And I actually heard from her partner a couple of weeks ago, so it's been about a year, and he asked me if I had a bookshelf. And I thought, well, maybe, but why do you need a bookshelf? And he said that his partner, the woman who had overdosed, had gotten clean and was living in clean and sober housing, and they didn't have a bookshelf in her room. So it was a very mundane, sort of normal exchange like I might have with somebody outside of work, but it was really meaningful. Sometimes we have to wait a really long time before we see any kind of results or get any good news. So I feel like a year is not too long.